Welcome to Higher Division. Today we're explaining how to build your teams for the Thorg Cup. So as you can see on the screen here, we have the rules pack front page. That's the PDF you can find from the Discord. And if you turn to page 1, the first page containing actual rules in the rules pack, you get the team tiers. And there are 6 different tiers. And depending on which team you pick, you get set number of starting gold to spend on players and inducements. You get a set number of skill points, a number of secondary skills you can pick, how many stacks you can pick. A stack is when a player gets more than one additional skill, and how much inducements you're allowed, which kind of inducement pack, which are all just explained later in the rules pack, and if you're allowed star players or not, and if so, how many. So today we're going to use orcs as the example because they're not the easiest one to build because they do get secondaries, but they're not too complicated either. So as you can see here, orcs are tier 2, together with dwarfs, Norse, Skaven, and Wood Elves. So they have a starting treasury of 1,160,000 gold, which means you're allowed to buy players, staff, and inducements for that amount. Once you have done that, you can then spend 7 skill points, which can be spent on either 7 primaries, or you can have 1 secondary if you want, but a secondary skill costs 2 skill points, which means in that case you would have 5 primary skills and 1 secondary. And no player is allowed any skill stacks, which means you can't buy 2 skills to any of your players. Okay, everyone's following for now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look how to do this in game. Let's do this. Jump into the game. So what we're going to do in game, we're going to create a new team. We're going to pick orcs, and we'll call this guy Thorg Cup Test. You can pick any name you want, well, as long as the game allows you to do so. And now the important part is you have to click the custom team, otherwise you get the set 1 million here, right? The standard to start a new fresh team, if you're playing in ladder or a league, so to speak. So you're going to click custom team, and then we click confirm creation. We get to the recruitment page. So we can just click any of these lines here for hiring new players. And so what we have to do now is make sure this total amount here on purchase costs is either 1,160,000 or just 5,000 short, because they are nothing worth 5k. So you could end up being 5k short. We're not allowed to be more expensive than 1,160,000. Okay, so being an orc player, want to playing a lot of bash, we'll take all 4 biggins, we'll take all 4 blitzers, we'll take a troll to add strength and stupidity to the team, because what's more orky than being stupid? Okay, so we can see now we're up at 795. We have 9 players. So we have to add something more. We'll pick a thrower just to have sure hands on something. It's maybe not the best choice, but it's an option. So now we have 10 players, so we need at least 1 more. We'll pick a lineman to have a full roster of 11. I know I want an Apo, because orcs don't often get bashed out because of their high armor value, and if they do and get KO'd, we might want to keep a blitzer or a blocker on the pitch, right? Or if someone just gets badly hurt, we can make sure they return for the next kickoff if there is one. And let's say we want as many rerolls as possible. So if we do 3 rerolls, we're now at 1,140,000 K gold. 1,130,000 gold. Let's make it easy. Let's not use the kilo word there, because then maybe we think we're playing 40k. Okay, so 1,140,000 gold, and that's 20,000 short of what we actually are allowed to spend. So we could decide to go 1 assistant coach and 1 cheerleader, 2 cheerleaders, or 2 coaches. We're not allowed to buy dedicated fans because dedicated fans messes with the validation by the admins, because the dedicated fans don't add to TV. So every team starts with 1 dedicated fan. So we're not allowed to change that in the Thorg Cup. That's important to remember. So knowing that rerolls are more important than whatever cheerleaders give you on the kickoff table, I will go with 2 coaches. So we have 4 biggins, 4 blitzers, 1 thrower, 1 troll, and 1 orc lineman for 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. I'm not saying this is a great list or team or a roster, because maybe you want a bench as well. Maybe you don't want the thrower because the thrower is slow and easier to injure. But this is an option. 11 players, 3 rerolls, 1 Apo, 2 coaches, 1,160,000 gold, just as the starting treasury says on page 1 under team tiers in the rules pack. Once we've done this, we click purchase. And we just get a summary of everything and we click recruit. And then we can go to the players tab up here and we can see all the players we just bought. So now we get to the next step, which is now we're allowed to skill players up. So we have 7 skill points and we're allowed 1 secondary. So the first thing we have to realize, we can't put more than 1 skill on any player. That's number 1. Number 2, we allowed 1 secondary skill. So what we could think of, like we do have a thrower, so we do have primary access to passing if we want to give someone leader for an extra reroll. So we don't have to think about that. So I'm thinking about the troll, right? Either we give the troll just guard, which is a primary skill for big guys, right? Strength, or we actually want to try to make the troll somewhat more reliable when it activates. So we'll actually use the secondary skill here to give the troll block. So we go to general and we say it's a secondary skill. So we know in the rules pack a secondary skill costs 2 skill points. So we'll give the troll block and we'll confirm. And then we'll go back. And now we've purchased this. The troll level has gone up because it's now level 2. And this cost us 2 skill points. Since we started with 7, we now have 5. So I know I want to level up all my big and blockers. So we're going to give these guys 4 primary skills. And just for simplicity's sake here, we're going to go with block on all of them. There's an argument for splitting between block and guard here because strength is also a primary skill for orcs. But if we give one of these guys guard, they don't have block, which makes them easier to hit, and they will have a harder time in general. Now we've given 4 guard to the blockers. They are now level 2, as we can see here. The blitzers, they start with block, right? So we don't have to care about those yet. Those blocks don't count. So we've used 1, 2, 3, 4 skill points, 5 skill points, 6 skill points, because block on a troll counts as 2, which leaves us with 1 skill point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 more skill point is available. So I'm thinking either we also give the thrower block for simplicity's sake, or we want to help with fighting a bit. So we'll pick one of the blitzers and we'll give these tackle just in case we run into elves or amazons. So we have one guy who can blitz opponent with dodge easier. So now we have a full roster. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skill points spent. So we know we followed the rules. We have no skill stacks. No player has more than 1 additional skill. We've spent the appropriate amount of money when we bought the team, and we spent the correct amount of skill points. So this is what we do. There is, at the end of the rules pack, well, not at the end of the rules pack, at the end of the start of the rules pack, the checklist. If you check what's numbered as page 13 in the rules pack, it says how to check. So if you have a tier 2 team roster, as we do with orcs, which means our final team value should be either 1,295,000 or 1,300,000. And as we see, that's exactly where we're at. If we had bought something that cost 5,000, like if we didn't pick something to get exactly, we would be 5k short, but this is fine either way. And the next bullet point says 7 primary skills or 5 primary skills and 1 secondary. And we checked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primaries and 1 secondary skill. We have no skill stacks, and we haven't actually bought any inducements not allowed by a tier 2 team. We've only bought rerolls coaches, and appos, the things everyone can pick. The more the higher tiers can get bribes and star players as well, but for this instruction we're just doing orc threat. So now we have a perfect team ready to be submitted to the Thorg Cup after we've done all the customizations and naming our players with cool names and stuff, because that's more important than the skills, right? We have to have the best looking armor and the best names. Then you go to the Discord and you register the team. I hope this was instructive and that you can use this to understand how to build a team.